But absent in this conversation is any change to the structure of the school. Just as I explained to you a moment ago, what a high school student looks and feels and experiences every day is a school that is no different. Depending on what data charts you look at, we haven't changed our schools for 120 years. One of the only institutions that has not transformed in any way, regardless of the types of technological changes, changes in thinking that have occurred throughout our country. And so you say, why? Why have we not transformed? So this is the idea that led us to a different dialogue. We thought, if we're going to transform our school and create something unique and new, the first thing we should do is ask our students. And to wit, we did. We sent out a survey, and it was a very simple survey. 3 questions. 1 was, what do you like about school? 2, what don't you like about high school? And 3, if you could create a school of your own, what would it look like? Now, I know some of you are thinking, I know what the responses were, and you're right. Some of the students did say they wanted a 6-hour lunch period and they wanted pizza all day long. But the majority of students were quite sincere in their answers. And their answers rung through as, what I like about school is the opportunity to learn different things. And what I like about school is the relationship I build with my teachers and the friends that I have. But what they didn't like about school was the very same thing they said they liked. They didn't have time to learn as much about the things they liked. They didn't have the time to build the relationships with their teachers that they preferred. And more importantly, it wasn't set up to meet their needs. Out of that survey, we garnered 4 important things that are very important. Students want control of their time, their path, their pace, and their place of learning. So with that in mind, we started to construct, if you will, in our minds, a school that could meet those needs. To give students control of their time, we had to remove the idea of class periods, class bells. Had to remove that. We had to have the school open much longer than that 7:30 to 2:30. And so we created a school that does that. To have control of their path, they needed to be able to work as long as they needed to in certain areas because that's what was exciting them that day. That's where they were feeling success. With the time spread out throughout the rest of those days and weeks and months to get the rest of the information they needed. They also wanted control of their pace. Their pace meaning if they were behind in a certain area, in a certain subject, they had the ability to work as long as they needed to. But the reverse was also needed to be true. If a student didn't need that time in that class because they had already had that information in a prior class or in a prior school, then why make them sit for 90 minutes or longer to understand information they already knew? So allowing them to pace forward. And then the place that they're learning. They could learn at the school. They could learn in the different environments in the school, in different teachers' classrooms as they chose. To learn perhaps outside of school as well as within the school walls. All of these things we gave credence to, and we honored them. Because in our school and our thought process, we put the student at the center of every decision we